Hi everybody, I'm Darren Moore and you're watching Reggae Boys Commentary.
This video is brought to you by MPEC Printery, specializing in t-shirt printing, posters, and shipping from the USA. Call 876-775-6692 or 876-337-7374. Andy Gone Nuts, 100% guaranteed fresh coconut water delivered straight to your door. Call 876-309-6128. That's 876-309-6128. Refreshing and affordable. For more information, follow them on Instagram at Andy Gone Nuts. Truly refreshing. And Crumble by Mrs. C. Old English fudge and other delectable sweet treats. Call or WhatsApp 876-586-0471. That's 876-586-0471. This video is also brought to you by BLC Jamaica Security Electronics, specializing in alarm system, video surveillance, camera system or CCTV, barrier system, gate automation, and access control. Call 876-320-7711. That's 876-320-7711 or 876-351-1105. That's 876-351-1105.
Skin clean and nice and ting and ting. I'm Tiffany Cannon, Reggae Girl Striker, and you are watching the Reggae Boys Commentary. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe.
Hello everyone, I'm Simon Preston and welcome back to Reggae Boys Commentary. Thank you so much for tuning in to another video on this channel. So let's get right into the matter, shall we? The 2023 FIFA Women's World Cup next year. Though the Jamaicans are drawn in Group F of the competition and they'll face France, Brazil, and of course the playoff Group C winner. Now, who could be one of those four teams? Well, this is what's going to happen. Next year in February in New Zealand, there will be the Intercontinental Playoffs. And in terms of the Group C Intercontinental Playoffs, in semi-final one, you'll have Chinese Taipei against Paraguay and Papua New Guinea against Panama. So the winner of both teams will advance to the final. So let's say the final is Paraguay against Panama, and Paraguay wins that. That means that Paraguay would be the last team to qualify for that World Cup. So you could say specifically February 23rd will be that specific day where the Reggae Girls will know who their final opponents will be for that 2023 FIFA World Cup berth. But that is not my area of concern for the World Cup. Let me tell you exactly what my area of concern is, and I'll bring it onto your screen quite shortly to be able to let you guys know what's been happening. So basically in July of next year, what's going to happen is on July 23rd, the Jamaicans will face France in Sydney. On the 29th, they'll play off against the playoff Group C winners in Perth. And of course, on August 2, they'll end the group stages against Brazil in Melbourne. So everyone knows already that there's basically, right. So there's 6 days between the first game and the second game, and 2 and 4 days for the last game. So just have a look at this and process this, okay? Australia is massive. And before we get into the dimensions of all of that, let me see. Jamaica's in Group F. So whether they come first or second in Group F, let's say they come second in Group F, right? Second in Group F, they'll be playing in Adelaide. That's also, well, second in Group F, Melbourne. So they'll also be in Australia, all right? And even if they win it, they'll be in Australia. Winner of match 55 or 56. If Jamaica tops the group, Brisbane or Sydney, right? 59, match 59 and 60. Match 59 and match 60, Sydney, all right? And if Jamaica, even if Jamaica loses that game, Brisbane is the third place playoff, and Sydney's the final. So you know what that means? All of Jamaica's games in the 2023 edition of the FIFA Women's World Cup will be in Australia. None of Jamaica's games will be in New Zealand. All of Jamaica's games will be in Australia. So if you are a Jamaican passport holder, you will need a Australian visa to enter Australia. So that is the situation with Australia. But let me show you guys something that is a massive, 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 massive concern. And something that we should all be concerned about, to be quite frank with you. I'll show you on your screen right now. This is Australia. And as you can see, Australia is huge. Just look how big Australia is. It's an island continent, you know? So Jamaica's first game, like I said, is in Sydney, right? Sydney's right here, right? So Jamaica's first game, Sydney. Good. You know where Jamaica's next game is? Perth. And Perth is way over here. You know what that means? A long flight. And to be specific with you, Sydney to Perth is 5 hours for that second game against the Group C winner, playoff Group C winner. The playoff Group C winner, their first game is in Adelaide. You know the flying time between Adelaide and Perth for that second game? Adelaide to Perth, 3 hours, 20 minutes, non-stop. Sydney to Perth, 5 hours. Not only is it 5 hours, but you're going into a different time zone. You're going into a different temperature. You're going into a different climate. You're going into a different culture. Western Australia is different from the eastern part of the country. But the saving grace, you could say, for the Reggae Girlz is quite simple. They have 6 days between games, while the playoff Group C winner, 5 days. So that's 1 more day of recovery, preparation, rest for the Jamaicans compared to that playoff Group C winner. So that's something on the Jamaican side of things that they'll look on and ponder on with, But here's another thing. Jamaica's last game is in Melbourne. Last game in the group stage that is in Melbourne. Perth over here. And you know where Melbourne is? Melbourne is way down here. Yeah. And you know the flying time Perth to Melbourne? 3 hours, 30 minutes. Brazil is coming from Brisbane. You know what's the flying time from Brisbane to Melbourne? 2 hours, 25 minutes. So what does this mean, Reggae Boys and Reggae Girlz fans? What does this mean? It means that Jamaica will have to be prudent with where they choose their base for the World Cup. Well, we know for certain that 2 of their games are East Coast and 1 game is West Coast. So they'll have to be prudent in where they choose their city. If it was me, I would have a base in one of 3 places: Sydney, Canberra, or Melbourne. For me, so my base would be East Coast, because Jamaica only has 1 game as it relates to the West Coast, and that is Perth. And even if Jamaica are to go on and advance in the competition to the knockout stages, guess what? Perth is only going to have games in the group stages of the competition. So I wouldn't want Jamaica to have camp or base in Perth. That would be too much traveling for the girls. Too much traveling. And let me raise another point about this matter. We have to limit the number of obligations and sponsorship commitments for the team. This was too much for the Reggae Girlz heading to France. Remember the visits that they had on the island and also in London as well? It was draining on the girls. If you speak to any one of them, they will tell you it was a lot. So let's say you're carrying a 24-member squad, right? Of course, you have to give coverage to your sponsors, and of course, there's media obligations. Absolutely. I'm not saying avoid them, but there's a prudent way to do it so that not all 23 players are involved. You can have the coaching staff and have 8 players on a Monday. And then the next engagement on a Wednesday, you have another 8 players and 2 members of the coaching staff. But the entire delegation, That's a lot. I know Jamaica, everybody wants to associate with Jamaica. I've seen it already. I've seen it. I've seen Jamaica make their debut at the Women's Lacrosse World Cup. I've seen Jamaica make their debut at the Rugby League World Cup. I've seen Jamaica stamp their class and authority in different sporting disciplines. And let me tell you, people want to associate with the Jamaican brand and take photos and pictures. But guess what? If we want to have the best end product on the pitch, if we want to go out there and succeed, if we want to go out there and create more history, like what we have done already, and go to the round of 16 of our World Cup and beyond, we need to bear in mind and have our time management in place. The World Cup is July 20 to August 20. We cannot be having sponsorship engagements the day, 2 days before a game. And I know the Jamaican diaspora in Australia already. They are in Sydney. There is a Jamaican diaspora, and they will want to associate with the Jamaican team. And I can tell you this as a fact, whenever there's no straight flight from Jamaica to Australia, all right? So there will be a stop in the States. Whether it might be California going down to Australia, or it might be from London going to Sydney, there will be a stop, right? So you know right there that it's going to be minimum 2 flights for the Reggae Girlz heading towards the World Cup. So the obligations of the team in terms of the media obligations, the sponsorship commitments will need to be managed properly. We're not sending our girls to Australia on 6 flights. Kingston, Miami, LA, Sydney. Boom, 3 flights, done and dusted. Or Kingston, London, Sydney. That's not rocket science. I'm not a travel agent, and I can tell you that those routes exist. So, Jamaican football fans, what are your thoughts? Well, let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe to Reggae Boys Commentary for more content.
This video is brought to you by MPEC Printery, specializing in t-shirt printing, posters, and shipping from the USA. Call 876-775-6692 or 876-337-7374. Andy Gone Nuts, 100% guaranteed fresh coconut water delivered straight to your door. Call 876-309-6128. That's 876-309-6128. Refreshing and affordable. For more information, follow them on Instagram at Andy Gone Nuts. Truly refreshing. And Crumble by Mrs. C. Old English fudge and other delectable sweet treats. Call or WhatsApp 876-586-0471. That's 876-586-0471. This video is also brought to you by BLC Jamaica Security Electronics, specializing in alarm system, video surveillance, camera system or CCTV, barrier system, gate automation, and access control. Call 876-320-7711. That's 876-320-7711 or 876-351-1105. That's 876-351-1105.